ESPN Sports.
Coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill
The Reading Blue Devils take on the Indian Hill Braves. I'm Jake Summerall, and I'm joined by Brian Shaw.
Hey, Jake.
And Brian, what do you think are some of tonight's key things to watch for in tonight's game?
Well, you know, Jake, two good teams, both 3-1, 1-0 in the league. Tonight's kind of a separation night, though. One of these teams going to fall a game behind. Got another one in the CHL tonight where Marymount is at Madeira. That also will tighten things up or separate people in the CHL. We're going to take a break for the national anthem.
For the playing of our national anthem by the Indian Hill High School Marching Band.
And welcome
Jake,
back.
Jake, as we were talking about before we went to break for the national anthem, battle of 3-1 teams tonight, both 1-0 in the league. We've also got Madeira and Marymount, also 1-0 in the league. These two guys have a common opponent. Both played Roger Bacon for Reading. It was their first game of the year, an 8-point loss. But Bacon had their best player, the running back, the entire game. Indian Hill beat Bacon 45-19, but did not have to face that running back. And Bacon really changed what they do when he went out of the game. So interesting tonight. I think you can throw that out. This is a team in Reading that runs a lot of different stuff, a lot that the Braves had to prepare for this week, and it should be a lot of fun. Look forward to seeing it.
And Luke DeLeg Lumberg will kick off for the Braves. Reading will receive.
Indian Hill Braves to kick off the Reading.
You know, one of the first things we're going to see tonight, two guys back deep for Reading, Mancini Jackson and Gabe Van Skyke. Both have a return touchdown. Kind of a Trey Lopez type of effect for Reading, but they've got two of them.
Luke DeLeg Lumberg to kick off for the Braves. It's football time.
And Luke Lumberg's kickoff is up. And again, that back left corner is really favored by Luke.
Mancini takes for Reading out to the 28, but there's a flag down on the play.
Well, you see immediately the athleticism of Van Skyke, but looks like we'll have a penalty, a hold on Reading, and that'll back them up.
Back on Reading.
Jake, much more balanced team than last time when we were here and we saw Roger Bacon, who almost exclusively ran the ball, at least coming into the game. Tonight, Reading runs it about 58% of the time and passes 42% of the time. Johnny Miller, a senior who did not play last year, good to see him back, enjoying himself as a senior. Great athlete at Reading.
We'll see a lot of offensive diversity from Reading tonight. Corner is really.
Yeah, you know, you're right. They'll run a couple of different things. They'll run a spread, they'll run trips, they'll run a bunch with an empty backfield. Looks like Mick Oakes in there on the tackle.
Adrian Simmons on the carry for Reading.
They'll also run double tight ends at times when they get a little closer down toward the goal line.
Jalen Thornton on the tackle for the Braves.
That'll be second down for the Blue Devils.
Looks like Mike Bright matched up on Gabe Van Skyke and Colin Shaw with Mancini Jackson. Mancini, a 4-year starter.
Oh, and a dropped pass.
Yeah, nice throw by Johnny Miller. Van Skyke got behind Mike Bright and unable to pull that one in. I think Van Skyke actually their leading receiver.
And that'll be third down for the Blue Devils.
But these are guys that have a lot of speed. Van Skyke's longest play from scrimmage, 51 yards. And on the other side, number 10, Mancini Jackson, longest play from scrimmage, 73 yards. So these are guys that can put pressure on you vertically.
That'll be first down for the Blue Devils.
A lot of yards after catch. Mancini Jackson, 6'3", about 210 pounds. So it's a tough guy to bring down after he makes the catch. They throw a lot of short stuff to him, too. His 73-yarder, as I recall, was on a short pass that he just ran after the catch.
All right.
Adrian Simmons on the carry for Reading. Tackled by Nick Oakes.
Simmons, a workhorse, another guy that has a long play from scrimmage, had a 63-yard run. So these are guys that can really put pressure on you vertically. But he's run it 74 times and is averaging almost 6 yards a carry.
That'll be second down for Reading. Oh, and a low hit by Trey Lopez. That was not Trey Lopez.
Alex Lindbergh
That was
on the
Alex
tackle for the
Lindbergh.
Braves.
Yeah, Lindbergh actually knocked his shoe off. You don't see that very often.
Pass complete to Van Sheek. Brings up the third down.
Good opportunity for the Braves here to get off the field. 3rd and 12. Reading with a good group of seniors. This is a year that I think they're expecting a lot, not just in football, but also in basketball. Good group of athletes. Mike Bright with an opportunity.
And an overthrown pass by the Reading quarterback.
One thing you notice about the first few weeks for Johnny Miller, and he's been out for a year, so I think you got to take that into consideration. But going into last week's game, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Got healthy against Deer Park last week with 3 touchdowns. So he's now 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But he will throw the ball up for grabs a little bit.
And Reading will punt.
Miller also the punter, does it all.
Marco Fiore back to return for the Braves.
And Jake, that answers one of our questions coming in. Would Marco Fiore be back? It's funny watching him last week in the Madeira game on a touchdown run by Tennyson Holmes. Marco jumps up to celebrate his teammate's success, and that hamstring flared up on him. Didn't know if he'd be able to go with just a week's worth of rest, but he's back in tonight, and not just back in, but fielding punts.
And Indian Hills quarterback Cole Dean will be on the field for the opening drive for the Braves.
Interesting. Marco back returning punts, but Marco not on the field right now as the offense comes out. Trey Lopez in the slot. Let's hope Lopez gets a lot of touches tonight. He's been just incredible through the first 4 games. Good effort.
Great catch by Joel Berger.
Goldie pass to Berger. Complete.
That'll be second down.
Yeah, nice to see the Braves come out and get positive yards on first down. Sets up a 2nd and 6. Very manageable and opens up the playbook. The Braves, speaking of balance, the Braves about as balanced as you can get, 47% on the run, 53 on the pass so far this year.
That'll be Tennyson Holmes up the middle.
Tennyson Holmes only carried for a couple of yards.
Just short of a first down by 1 yard.
Picks up third down.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have about a 3rd and 3, but still very manageable. And those splits of pass run, very positive for the Braves. Big key to their success. And good job by Coldine with the hard count to get the first down.
And it looks like it'll be an offsides. First down for the Braves. You'll hear that Law and Order theme song playing again.
Yep.
The Braves have 5 yards.
Greg Leschek is, as they say, all over it down there in the booth. Tyler McMullen, the golden voice of the PA, and Greg Leschek with the music. So if you have complaints or you have thanks, give them to Greg Leschek.
And Cole Dean hesitates to throw to Tennyson Holmes. That'll be a loss.
Yeah, you know, Mancini Jackson, I think if we looked at that, let's take a look at that play. Mancini Jackson, very athletic. We talked about how big he is, a 6'3" kid with a great frame that can run. And probably presented a decision a little earlier than Cole might have wanted to make it. You'll see him come in standing up on the right side. Does a nice job of stretching that out.
That'll put the Braves quite far away from the first down. Cole Dean drops back. Looks for 18, Joel Berger. And is tackled. And that'll be about 3rd and 8 for the Braves.
Yeah, long pass there. Took a while in the air for Berger and unable to make a play as far as yards after the catch. But great job to get him back into a manageable situation. Joel Berger healthy and having a really good year with a couple of catches already tonight.
And Cole Dean pass to Colin Shaw is good. And he will enter the touchdown, and it's good. That was a great pass.
Yeah, it looked like Jermaine Fulton, the corner for Reading, a little bit of trouble with the traction there, falling down. Colin Shaw getting behind. Cole Dean doing a great job when somebody's that open to get him the ball.
And that play puts Colin Shaw at 1,000 yards for the season. And that is his 9th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, a lot of separation there. Sometimes that might be the hardest throw to make. Cole Dean doing a great job staying with it, keeping his head, and putting that ball in the money and leading Colin. Great job.
And Luke the Leg Lumberg's kick is up and good.
Bishop to Lindbergh to Luke the Leg Lumbergh for the extra point conversion. And the Braves go up 7-0.
Yeah, you know, being in a 3rd and 7 like they were on that play, big difference. Give credit that 2nd down and 16, the gain of 9 to Joel Berger to set that up and put the pressure on Reading's defense.
Dial Automotive, everything but the house. Dial 1 Security.
Good start for the Braves. You know, last week at Madeira, I think I counted in the first drive, or maybe it was into the second drive because we had a turnover, 7 different Braves that touched the ball. Cole Dean doing a really good job of moving that ball around, making it hard for the defense to key on anybody in particular. And as you know, in the CHL, oftentimes we get 1 or 2 or 3 guys that touch the ball quite a bit. Not so for this Indian Hill team. You really have to defend the entire field. Great play calling also.
Luther Lumberg will kick off for the Braves.
Coach Brian Walker building this offense to take advantage of the talent of the kids that he has in the district.
What?
Tough spot for Van Skyke.
On the return, tackled by Tribe of Braves.
Little miscommunication between he and Mancini, and tough start there. They'll take over at their own, I guess, what is that, 12-yard line?
Start of the 18-yard
I'm sorry,
line, first and 10.
18-yard line.
And Brian, let's talk about one of the Braves' top defensive linemen, Mick Oakes.
Yeah. What happened to old Mick, the nice guy? Right now, Mick Oakes is just blowing people up all over the field. It's an incredible transformation. Great job by Adrian Simmons not to give up. Simmons is the workhorse. We mentioned it coming in, 74 rushes at 5.7 per. He has scored 7 touchdowns through the first 4 games for Reading. A big kid that can run, and as you saw there, tough to bring down. But Mick Oakes, incredible. You see him physically and how he flies around the field, but it's more than just the physical. Really feel like Mick Oakes is figuring things out and having fun and just playing free and easy, and it's a lot of fun to watch him. He's a great kid.
And an update from the St. X Moeller game. Moeller is up 7-0 in the first quarter.
Braves with a nice job stretching that out. And that is that has not been, through the first 4 games, a recipe for success against the Braves, the East-West. A good, quick team that pursues really well and gets a lot of hats over there. Nice job. Yeah, that St. X Moeller game, you know, watching St. X over the last couple of years, I don't think their games start till the 4th quarter. I've seen them in some situations. You think about the Sycamore playoff game last year, you'd never believe they'd come through, and they do it consistently. There's Jackson with another short pass and able to get yards after the catch. Great job getting his team into a very manageable 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Great job by Mancini Jackson. And how about the touch from Johnny Miller, being out for a year and coming back, and looks
That's
like
pretty
he's been
impressive.
there the whole time. Jake, I look forward to hearing more about that Moeller St. X game throughout the night.
So do I. We will keep you posted on that game as the night goes on. And that'll be first down for the Blue Devils.
Jake, don't you just get the sense when Jackson catches the ball that if guys don't wrap up and they don't really make an effort to get him to the ground, he's a threat to take it the whole way every time he touches it. It's going to be a lot of work over there for old number 16 tonight.
First and 10 for the Blue Devils.
Adrian Simmons on the carry.
Well, looks like both these teams have now had kind of an awkward pitch play here early in this game. Johnny Miller finding Adrian Simmons. We had one with Cole Dean finding Tennyson Holmes on an awkward pitch play. They're still able to pick up 4.
And that'll be second down.
Michael Bright over here on an island with Van Skyke.
And the quarterback keeps it. Jack Hankin chasing, but Michael Bright ends up with the tackle.
Miller on the carry around the left side, tackled by Michael Bright.
Yeah, you know, Johnny Miller with a lot of room over there and basically one blocker and one defender. And that's not necessarily what Reading wants to do. But a good change of pace. You got to show that to keep everybody honest. Good job by the Reading Blue Devils to get into a manageable third down and show the Braves a little something that might be helpful later.
And number 1, Justin Dreiling with the first down for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Dreiling, a two-way player, 4 interceptions on the year. So a heck of a playmaker in his own right for Reading. First touch of the night. Let's hope he doesn't have any touches on defense. 4 interceptions. Man.
Colin Shaw, one-on-one coverage, but almost is picked off. Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, not sure who was playing defense there. Once that ball went up in the air, Mancini, nice job getting his arm in there and breaking up the pass. Those two guys have played against each other at the varsity level for 4 years. The first year in the rain over at Reading, the second year here in what was one of the greatest games you'll ever see in the CHL. We'll talk about that a little bit later tonight. Last year back over at their place, and this year as seniors. Mancini out of the game.
Tackles made by Tribe of Braves.
Yeah, whatever was going on with Mancini Jackson, he was out one play and he's back in now just in time for third down and 8.
And let's see if the Braves can hold the Blue Devils here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mancini's the recipient of this pass.
And a hard hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's talk about the new McOaks. Ball a little bit behind Simmons, and Oaks closing fast. And actually, you know what? Mick had a chance to do a little more damage there and did a nice job. Saw that ball was out and did enough to break up the pass, but no more. That's nice play.
And it looks like they will be going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, now they got a 4th and 13 after movement from their guard.
And that penalty will hurt Reading.
See if that changes things at all for Reading. Kind of tough to tell. Johnny Miller, not only the quarterback, but also the punter. But given no other changes, I guess they're going to go for it. You know, the one thing he could do, though, is he can always pooch it. Braves thinking along those lines. Tennyson Holmes was back at the 15. Now, I don't know if that means anything. Tennyson back in formation to receive the punt as opposed to Marco. Marco received the first one. We haven't seen Marco since he fielded that punt. Looks like he's okay. One watching him over on the sidelines, but not sure why he's not back in. Well, interesting decision here. I think 4th and 13, I'd be inclined to punt it. I think Reading's a good team. A little early for this, but see what coach comes out with. Well, they come back out and they're in the more traditional punt formation. Not sure if they were thinking about a pooch or they were thinking about going for it. Tennyson Holmes now back at the 10-yard line.
It looks like they will punt it. Tennyson back to receive.
Yeah, Miller's kick end over end, and it rolled right into the end zone.
And that'll place the Braves offense at the 20-yard line.
Just looking at the personnel going out for the Braves right now, Marco Fiore is on the field, so that's good news.
update on the St. X Moeller game. St. X ties Moeller 7-7.
Duke Weiler in the backfield with Cole Dean.
Holden's pass complete to Davis Cleacamp, who's out of bounds.
So our spread offense, the two slots, Marco Fiore and Joel Berger, and then outside Davis Cleacamp and Colin Shaw. Duke Weiler with Cole Dean in the backfield.
And we'll see two receivers on each side. Hands off to Duke Weiler. And it looks like that will be a first down.
Great run. Nice tough finish on that too.
Right side, down past the 30-yard line for a Brave first down.
And Cole Dean's pass to Joel Berger.
Yeah, good to see Joel getting involved early. Duke Weiler with the big carry. Braves spreading it around now, and this is what makes them dangerous. The other thing you notice is the tempo.
And Joel will be just short of a first down.
Trey Lopez now in. Tennyson Holmes in the backfield.
We'll see Cole Dean drops back.
Like
Looks for Colin Shaw again, and it's good. And he will score his second touchdown of the night. That was an excellent catch.
You know, good route, good throw, good contest for the ball, but how about Cole Dean? There's an old saying, great faith in the receiver because he wasn't that far open when he threw the ball. Great job by Cole Dean putting it out there, letting a playmaker make a play.
And we'll see Luke the Leg Lumberg. PAT is up and good.
What's that make him, Jake? 17 for 17?
He is perfect. And that'll put the Braves up 14-0 with
Couple
18 seconds left in the first quarter.
Couple big pass plays. Braves not having to grind it out at this point. See what this does with 18 seconds left in the quarter. See what this does to play calling now as we get into the second quarter for Reading. As we talked about, usually Reading is a little bit more on the run side than the pass side, 58-42. See if this starts to change what they do. They got some really good pieces that are out away from the line in Mancini Jackson and in Gabe Van Skyke.
And we'll see Luke the Leg Lumberg keep favoring that left corner of the end zone.
Yeah, you notice Reading has got Mancini Jackson now. They've switched places. Mancini Jackson on that part of the field. That's the one thing about Reading, too. They're only one special teams play away from being down one possession.
And he's dodged a lot of tackles there, but
yeah, you know, the hits that usually knock guys down just don't knock him down. And the difficulty with that is once he's in space, he's as fast as anybody on the field. Good football player. Mancini, I like the name too. I've always liked it. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if mom and dad were fans of Henry Mancini. You're a big fan of Henry Mancini, aren't you?
yes, maybe.
Rob Young thinks it might be boxing more than composing. But I'm going to keep it at the level. I'm going to keep it at my level, Rob. Well, there's Mick Oakes again. Nice job by Mike Bright, and good finish by Mick Oakes there.
And that concludes the first quarter. Indian Hill Braves up 14-0. And we'll be right back right after this short break.
Coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network is a presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department. The Video Department provides the community with educational and school-focused programming through the facilities of the ICRC. Indian Hill Television Network produced...
I think when we were off at the break, we found out it was Grace Kent's birthday. Did I have that right?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So happy birthday to her and to her family. Congratulations. Great young lady. Also at the break, Rob Young, who's from Northeast Ohio, wanted to stand up for one of the all-time greats of the Youngstown area, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, who's now 60 years old. And he's thinking that perhaps Mancini Jackson's parents named him in honor of the world champion. I think it had a little more to do with Moon River and the Pink Panther. That's what I'm thinking, but I could be wrong.
And we'll see a way overthrown pass.
Yeah, Jalen Thornton jumping in there, and Johnny Miller, smart athlete, living another day. We'll take 2nd and 10 rather than that ball going the other way. Now it looks like we're going to have motion for Reading.
Ball start for Blue Devils, maximum 5 yards. Still second down.
And we'll see a false start on the Braves. On Reading.
Yeah, interested to see, down 14 what happened to play calling. They come out with a pass play on the first one, and obviously now being backed up in the 2nd and 15, probably see that again. I'd like to see them in some regular situations, though, and see if Reading makes changes given the scoreboard. Joe Oakes on that stop.
Simmons on the carry for Reading. Joe Oakes stacks them up. Brings up 3rd down.
Joe Oakes, a terrific pitcher. Also a heck of a football player. Both ways, starter on the line for the Braves. You only get so many guys that look like that in the CHL, right?
Yes. An incomplete pass.
Yeah, great job there by the Braves, smelling that out and staying with it.
John Miller's pass, center Adrian Simmons falls incomplete. Brings up fourth down.
Well, it looks like we're going to have the dual threat back here to field this punt. Michael Bright and Marco Fiore. So we're seeing a lot of different looks. Actually, Lopez is going to come back for Bright, and Fiore and Lopez. We've seen Tennyson Holmes. We've seen Marco by himself. Now Marco and Trey.
And Reading in punt formation. Took a few steps and Marco Fiore waving it down.
Yeah.
Catch by Marco Fiore, 26-yard line where the Braves start.
Johnny doing a nice job there. You know, didn't get the sense at all that he was looking for a running area, just trying to give his guys an opportunity to get down in coverage. So good field position for the Braves. Set up at the 27.
We'll see Coldine looks for Marco Fiore, but passes it to Davis Kleekamp. Wow. And that'll be a touchdown for the Braves.
You know, it's a play the Braves have run for the past few years. I think we're going to get a replay of it. We'll be able to take a look at it here. Great job by Marco and Davis. Again, sometimes those open plays are some of the toughest to finish.
And Davis Kleekamp with a 73-yard run.
Yeah, that's a look at Mancini Jackson closing. He just needed another 20 or 30 yards. Great job by Davis to get all the way in. A play the Braves have been running the last few years. 2 years ago, when Nick Heidel was a senior, they ran it quite a bit. Nick in a similar situation as Marco, backup quarterback, able to throw the ball.
Luke the Leg Lumberg's PAT is up and good.
I believe that's 18 for 18. We need one of those charts like they had for Joe DiMaggio in the 56-game hitting streak. See if Luke can get to 56 in a row.
Dial 1 Security is a proud sponsor of Indian Hill Artist Athletics. Dial 1 Security is locally owned for all your alarm system needs in Indian Hill and Corral.
Yeah, Rob Young confirming it is, in fact, 18 for 18. Great job. All right, you ready for a little bit of Reading High School trivia?
I am.
All right. Now, this is a little bit before your time, but there's a man by the name of Claude Osteen who pitched for 18 seasons in Major League Baseball and was actually the winning pitcher in 1970 when the All-Star game was here in Cincinnati and Pete Rose ran over Ray Fosse. Claude Osteen, a Reading Blue Devil. Now, more recently, you would know these names, Tony Pike.
Yes.
When the Bearcats went to the Orange Bowl, Tony Pike with that huge game in Pittsburgh to make the university, I don't know, $5 or $10 million. I don't know if he got any of that, but he sure delivered.
And Luke Lumberg's kick to the left side of the end zone.
Yeah, unfortunately for Van Skyke, you can't run it out in high school football, but what a kick. What a kick. But Tony Pike, a name you also might have heard when you were a young man running back in the NFL by the name of Deshaun Wynn. Deshaun Wynn, also a Reading Blue Devil. Tony Pike played on this field. Deshaun Wynn played on this field. Here's one I'm going to ask the older guys in the booth if you're aware of, are you Seinfeld fans? This one blew my mind. Do you remember Mr. Berger from Seinfeld? A Reading High School graduate. His favorite phrase, I think, was every time something catastrophic was about to happen, he'd say, "I'm not too worried about it." Well, turnabout fair play. The Reading Blue Devils with a play of their own. Mancini Jackson throwing that up for Van Skyke. But great play by Michael Bright. Great ball skills competing for that. Colin Shaw in the area also.
And that'll be second down for the Blue Devils.
Rob Young reminding me that Berger's scenes in Seinfeld was always about George Costanza going out with a high note. Good night, everybody. Joe Oakes and Jalen Thornton together there. And it seems like the Braves are starting to figure things out defensively and beat Reading to some spots. Tough place right now for the Reading Blue Devils with 10 minutes left in this second quarter. Big part of the game right here.
And that'll be 3rd and 12 for the Blue Devils. Oh, and a wide open gap. Colin Shaw chasing down.
Yeah, great job by Reading. They ran Mancini Jackson down the middle of the field and left a freshman linebacker with their senior running back, I believe, on a wheel route. And great play call. Great play call by Reading. Quick strike capability, you know, this is a team that can get right back in it, just needs a couple of plays. Problem I think that you're seeing right now is, can they stop Indian Hill from continuing to score?
And it looks like John Mark Williams with the tackle.
Yeah, Braves defenders, what you love about this group is how many tackles being made by Jalen Thornton and Mick Oakes and John Mark Williams and Joe Oakes. All their guys up front, keeping those secondary guys clean a little bit and letting them get back and get deep on routes.
And wow.
I think they're going to mark him down inside the 1.
And Justin Dreiling on the reception for the Blue Devils.
All the way down to the 1-yard line. First down, Reading.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
John Miller, the quarterback keeper, runs it in for Reading. Touchdown.
It's off.
Guys, there's some people by the...
Extra point attempt is no good. With 8:28 to go in the first half, the Braves lead 21-6.
And that'll put Reading on the board, 7-21.
Sorry, a little technical difficulty with the microphones. But Reading, quick strike capability, right down the field, a couple of big pass plays to get them in scoring position, and they punch it in. See if the Braves can answer here. So Braves back to receive, I think, their first kickoff. Looks like Fiore will be the deep guy.
Lopez, Fiore, and John Mark Williams back to receive for the Braves. And we'll see Reading's kicker, Sam Sofio.
Sofio, the second at least in his family to kick for the Blue Devils. So Braves will get good field position here. About 8.5 minutes left in the first half. See if they can get back to work. Be interesting to see if they get a drive where it's sustained in 8-10 yard increments instead of the big play here. Maybe take some time off that clock. Start to grind them. Looks like the Blue Devils with a couple of substitutions here. I think we've seen this formation before, Jake.
Yes, indeed. We have Cole Dean in the backfield. That's asking for the ball. Tennyson Holmes up the middle. Wow, and he's off.
I think Reading might have been having the same reaction to that formation we did.
And on the opening drive, and Tennyson Holmes with the 75-yard touchdown run.
It just continues to be a game of big plays, doesn't it?
We'll see Tennyson favor that middle route. He's favored that all season long.
Yeah, good block out there. Colin Shaw getting a safety. Dreiling, who really was cheating over on that side with Marco and Colin. Usually they run a little bubble and have one of them blocked for the other. But this was a quick hitter. Running play and goes the distance. So the Braves just continue to score from the other side of the field.
And Luke the Leg Lundberg's kick is up. Man, good.
Turn the thing over. We're now 19 for 19. Well, great answer by the Braves. Come out, give up a touchdown, and Reading feeling good back in this game, and Braves go out and extend. A lot of points on the board for the Braves tonight. You look in their first 4 games, they're on pace to score more than they have in any of them. Last week, 35 points against Madeira, but I think they only scored maybe 14 or 7 of them in the first half. I think it was 7, and maybe 4 touchdowns in the second half. So put 45 on the board against Roger Bacon, but ahead of that pace by quite a bit tonight.
And we'll see the Braves kicking squad out again.
And of those 4 touchdowns, spreading it around, a running play, 3 passing plays, 2 quarterbacks have thrown, or 2 guys have thrown for touchdowns, and 2 receivers have caught touchdowns. So Braves' year of versatility and diversification continues here. Very interesting. Lundberg now going to the middle of the field and twice has put it in the end zone. That actually might be a better opportunity depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to pin somebody in the corner or you're trying to get them to start from the 25, I guess. Or I'm sorry, the 20.
The Braves defense will take the field.
Yeah, just thinking about the Braves and the coaching staff and, putting together a game plan where everybody touches the ball, everybody contributes. One thing to think about with this Braves coaching staff, Coach Arcuri, I believe, is now 20 games over 500 in his 4th year. And I think in his 1st year was just a game over 500. They only played 9 games because of a situation with a young man at Little Miami. Tragic situation. Played 9 games that year. The game over 500 has been 19 over in the last 3 years, and we're, not even halfway through this season. But what they do from Friday night, think about it. The game ends about 10 o'clock, and the guys get in and look at film on Saturdays at 9. And you have to think, whether you're a position coach or you're putting the whole thing together, you got anywhere from a couple of hours to maybe 4 or 5 hours to break down all that film and have a meaningful message for those guys at 9 o'clock.
And it looks like Colin Shaw barely gets the catch. Interception for the Braves.
Yeah, great job getting that ball, picking that off. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look here. And looks like that ball dropped. Mancini Jackson unable to bring it in, and Colin with good reflexes to be able to catch that ball in a small space on a misdirect. Great athleticism there.
We'll see Coldine handing it off to John Mark Williams up the middle. Just short of the first down.
Yeah, nice play. I like that design. Mick Oakes actually in the backfield, jumping out to block for him, and I think we might have our first cramp of the night. Been kind of surprised it took this long. It is, if you're outside the area, maybe watching a grandchild, it was 90 degrees today. We're near the end of September. Very hot day. I know the Braves have been making a point to try to hydrate all week. It starts several days before playing a game like this, and they've done a great job so far. I haven't seen anybody struggle.
Coldine's pitch to Tennyson Holmes, favoring the sideline.
Just to go back and on that thought, you think about that. So your game ends at 10. You got the kids in at 9. Again, got to think, if you're a position coach, you got an hour or two of work at least. And if you're putting the whole thing together, 4 or 5 hours of tape just to break it down and have a message. For those that look at the success that Coach Arcuri and his entire staff have had, I mean, all these guys are phenomenal. They work. They really work. And it's amazing what they do with these kids and the agenda and the schedule and the commitment level that's required to operate at this level. Braves showing something else here on a 3rd and 1, where Dean getting under center and picking up the first down. Looks like they'll have it at about the 5.
And that'll be 1st and goal for the Braves.
Yeah, you look at it, the weight room measurements and the time they're spending off season, the commitment that they've gotten from the kids in that regard, and then just the prep. The work that comes to these guys on Sunday, where they get a plan. Monday, it's important to be ready to go and practice quick. Have a Tuesday and a Wednesday that's kind of physical, and then a Thursday that's a little bit of prep. Walkthrough. Intended for Davis Kleekamp there. Good coverage on that.
And that'll bring up second and goal for the Braves.
So if you've got a son or a grandson playing football at Indian Hill, learning a lot of things beyond football on how to prepare to be successful. And I think as a parent, that's probably the thing that you like most about it.
We'll see Trey Lopez signaling for motion. He'll be just short of the end zone. That'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, we've seen Trey score on that play this season, and he does it really well. Great job by he and Cole Dean to get that handoff cleanly, because the timing on that was really, really quick.
We'll see Cole Dean in the backfield.
Looks like we got a timeout for Indian Hill. Took a while to get that play in, and I think there was some question about what they wanted to do. Nice timeout to talk it over here with under 6 minutes left in the half. And a big opportunity to really get this game under control for the Braves should they be able to get it in. Yeah, you know, you look around, see if we have any scores from Moeller St. X or maybe that Madeira Marymount game. Madeira Marymount or okay, so got a scoreless game between the Mustangs and the Warriors. It's a big one tonight. 14-7 at the half. St. X.
St. X is leading against Moeller.
Yeah, I got a feeling there are going to be some twists and turns to that Moeller St. X game. Looks like the Braves have spread it out a little bit more.
Holding,
exactly
looking to
what
his
they're trying
left,
to do.
scrambling, and he will be brought down.
Yeah, great job there by Redding. Number 3, Gabe Van Skyke. Showing you some speed there. Cole Dean trying to get those shoulders squared to be able to throw the ball. Van Skyke just chasing him down, not allowing him to do that. So we're going to have a field goal try.
So this will be a 38-yard attempt by Luke DeLay.
And a 38-yard attempt by Luke DeLay Lumberg.
I believe on the year he might have a 38 and a 41. Maybe at New Richmond.
And it is up. And it's good. No good.
Yeah, it looked like that might have been a little bit to the left. Good snap, good hold, and he struck the ball great. Just a little bit to the left as you look at it. So Braves with a negative yardage play that kind of put them in a little bit of a bind, but still scoring opportunity. So a little less than 5 minutes to go here in the half. Opportunity for Redding to get some more points and tighten this up. Got their playmakers on the field. Simmons, Van Skyke, Jackson.
Michael Bright with the tackle.
Yeah, nice route, good throw by Johnny Miller and Van Skyke with ball that's hard to defend. But Mike Bright did a nice job. No yards after the catch.
And that'll be second down for the Blue Devils.
See, that'll keep the kickers yardage on.
And it looks like Redding just will get the first down.
He is a handful. I tell you what, that's a heck of a play by Colin Shaw, matching up and squaring on Mancini Jackson, able to hold him up and hang on until he got help and take him to the ground ultimately. Good job there. I mean, it's what you got to do. You really do have to keep contact because he's a guy that can bounce off pretty easily.
And that will be 1st and 10 for Redding. Ball on the 32.
Yeah, we're down to a little bit over 3 minutes left here in the half. Redding doing a good job, though, staying committed to mixing things up a little bit. Can't just throw it down the field all the time.
And that'll
Picking up the pace, though, on the play calling, get back to the line of scrimmage.
The quarterback fake, but
Yeah.
did not fake Jalen Thornton.
Yeah, Johnny Miller out there one-on-one with Jalen Thornton. I don't think that's what they had in mind. That's a difficult matchup. Not sure what was going on there. I don't know that they were looking to have Johnny run the ball, but Reading got into that play real quickly. They're all of a sudden now looking to the sideline and taking their time. Clock continues to run. We're under 2.5 minutes. But of course, we've seen it tonight. You don't have to be on the other side of the field to score. Wow. Well, I tell you what, they've got some guys that are really hard to tackle. I don't know if you saw the end of that play, if we're going to have a chance to take another look at it. Mick Oakes is listed, and he's every bit of it, 6'4", 230. And you look at the finish on that play, Mick Oakes with the tackle on Adrian Simmons, but that didn't look like the normal Mick Oakes tackle. Adrian Simmons and Mick Oakes went to the ground pretty hard together. Everybody okay?
And that'll be a timeout on the field.
Get the name of that truck. Good grief. Yeah, one of those games that you think about what's the value down here of scoring when the Braves had the ball first and goal at the 5. The sooner the Braves can get control of games and get other players in the games between, and you hate to look ahead, but you know, we don't coach, we don't play, so I think it's okay for us to do it. But if you think that Indian Hill and Wyoming are on this course toward the end of the year in week 10, really important for both those teams to find a way to get better every week and also to find a way to stay healthy through that period of time. And part of being healthy is getting guys rest. So Braves looking to try to get some separation here so they can get more guys in the game, get more guys experience, get some guys a breather, and work on their execution.
And that Week 10 Wyoming game will be one heck of a game for both teams.
Having said that, still a long way to go in this one, and a very good competitor, very good team in Reading.
And a great defensive block by Colin Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw doing a great job running with Mancini Jackson. That part we know he can do, the 4.59 40. But doing a great job technique-wise, getting his head around and seeing the ball. And good ball skills for Mike Bright, for Colin Shaw, Marco Fiore, Trey Lopez. A lot of these guys that are going to be playing defensive back, very good at going up and getting the ball. Looks like the 4 we're going to have on the field, always look at these, that's because those are the interchangeable parts. That line stays solid. But of these receivers, looks like we got Shaw, Lopez, Fiore, and Kleekamp. Tennyson Holmes in the backfield with Coldine.
And Coldine asking for the ball. Looks for Trey
Oh,
Lopez
geez.
wide open.
And
That's a touchdown.
an assignment issue right there. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Nobody near Trey Lopez. Okay. We had Van Skyke and, I'm sorry if I'm going to mess this up, but Flagg, number 5, both those two guys, 3 and 5, looking at each other after the play, asking each other what happened there. Obviously an assignment issue. And again, when guys are open, you still got to complete the play. So credit goes to Coldine and to Trey Lopez.
We'll see Luke the Leg Lundberg. This kick is up. Bang good.
I think we're 20 for 20 now. Yeah, big job by the Braves to come back, get the ball back, and cash in. Having had that issue with the first and goal at the 5, not scoring, and come right back down the field. Braves showing a lot of resilience and answering things tonight. Great job. Well, it looks like we got more push-ups. We'll see how they look when this, if this should get up into the 40s. I think last time against Bacon, they were all good until it got into the 40s, and they kind of alternated between guys. So see if they've been working on that or not. So less than 2 minutes left in the half. If this game showed us anything, I think there's time for another score.
And Blake Lundberg will kick off for the Braves. Nothing new.
You know, looking at Reading, I mean, I can understand where they've had success. They've got a lot of great pieces to this team. Might not have the deepest team, but a lot of really good athletes on this team. And we saw it 2 weeks ago. They played Summit Country Day at their place and won 14-7. Summit with some outstanding athletes on that team. Interesting, going back to the corner, or attempting to, having kicked 2 balls into the end zone toward the middle of the field. Not privy to what the conversations are with special teams, but that'll get Reading a little bit closer. They'll head all the way out, I think, to the 35 with no time off the
40.
clock.
Yeah, for 35.
But that Summit Country Day win, that's a good win. Young man down at Summit Country Day by the name of Xavier Johnson, who has a basketball offer from Wright State and a football offer from UC. Pretty good athlete and a great kid.
Oh, and a low hit by Mick Oakes. He's been everywhere on defense.
I tell you, it looks like Bill Romanowski out there. He's even got the number. He is just flying around the field and having the time of his life knocking people down.
And that'll be a 5-yard loss.
You know, and Mick, it's interesting because we just talked about a collision a couple series ago between Mick and Adrian Simmons that was up high. And Mick obviously going to school on that and changing it up and hitting him low and being rewarded for it.
And another overthrown pass.
Yeah, good job. Braves all over it contesting these throws. Alex Lindbergh on that one.
And that'll be 3rd down.
So we're going to have a 3rd and 15. And I think, you know, it'll be interesting to see what Reading does here because this would be a horrible time for another turnover on this part of the field. I think Reading's sensing the same thing, and they'll be content to run it, kick it, and run out to half.
Jalen Thornton and the Tribe of Braves.
Yeah, you notice Jalen Thornton and Mick Oakes are maybe kind of prepared for the next level. When they make a play, I mean, you got to enjoy your high school time. That's the most important thing. Enjoy right now. Be a kid. But I notice when they make a play, they go toward the end zone as if we got a crowd in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? These guys are looking ahead. I love it.
And a promising future for both of these athletes.
Yeah. Well, we got the band in the end zone. Maybe they're trying to get the band fired up. Let's hear it.
It looks like Reading and Indian Hill will have a brief huddle.
Yeah, Jalen Thornton, no question, he'll be doing that someday, and there will be tens of thousands of people in that end zone that are going to jump up and get the team fired up. But right now, Indian Hill with 50 seconds and an opportunity to get the ball back and see if they got time to do something with it. You know, we talked about Indian Hill and the record and Wyoming and, you know, Clint Massey also in that Division 4, Region 16. Believe it or not, Clint Massey and Wyoming both undefeated, but Indian Hill holds the 5 spot Wyoming 6 and Clinton Massey 7 in Joe Edel's computer rankings for the top 8 making the playoffs. Kind of surprising to me given that Wyoming beat CHCA and we lost by a touchdown here at our place.
And Reading punts the ball. Marco Fiore back to receive for the Braves.
Well, Braves will set up at Reading's 43. They've got 45 seconds and change left. Johnny Miller with a returnable punt there. But it's also a punt that if Marco doesn't come up and make a play, he's going to roll and go quite a distance. So nice job by Marco. Not only with the return, but just picking the ball up.
And Cole Dean back for the Braves. He's asking for the ball. Looks for Tennyson Holmes, but is just overthrown.
Did a nice job putting that ball in a place where we could make a play, but not turning it over. That's a long throw, too. You look at where he was on the field going to the other side.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
One guy I see out here tonight, I think standing at the Indian Hill sideline around the 40-yard line, Dan Becker. I didn't know if that was Dan Becker or Anthony Munoz. Good grief.
And Dan, a former Brave.
Yeah, Dan playing at Youngstown State. The president of the school, none other than Jim Tressel. I would imagine there's quite a commitment to the game of football at Youngstown State. Always has been, but it sure hasn't diminished. It's probably at an all-time high.
And just another short pass by Cole Dean.
When your president's Jim Tressel, I suspect you probably get a new uniform when you need it, or good hotel accommodations, good pregame meal. The Penguins. High level of football. I know week 1 I was looking for Dan. Not sure what his status was at the time, but week 1 went to Pittsburgh and took the Pitt Panthers to overtime. We'll have an update on a few other Braves that graduated last year and what they're doing.
We'll see Cole Dean keeping it. It looks like he might, and he will convert.
Yeah, they're gonna
Just
go
be short.
on a 4th and 3 here, 4th and 4.
They'll do a hurry-up offense. Cole Dean with the run, and he's asking for it. He's scrambling, looks for Trey Lopez,
I'll tell you what, you got a chance.
and he will convert with 8 seconds left.
You know, if you get Trey the ball in space, you always got a chance. Great job by Cole staying alive. That wasn't what he expected when he got back and got the pressure from the middle of the field, and did a nice job keeping that play alive and finding Trey, and Trey can do the rest. So Braves with a chance with 7 seconds, you know, 1 shot to the end zone, maybe 2.
And Tennyson Holmes is on Cole Dean's right side. Looks for Colin Shaw, just overthrown.
Yeah, nice job by the corner, who's been much maligned tonight, Jermaine Fulton. He's had a couple of tough matchups and footing, some issues, and did a nice job getting right in front of Colin and cutting him off. Did a great job there. So Braves with that one last shot here at the end zone. Hate to say it, a little bit out of Luke's range here, even Luke's range. And they're going to get 5 yards closer.
And that'll be an offsides on Reading.
And I think that 5 yards was enough. We are going to see Luke come out and attempt the field goal. Great job by the Braves to anticipate that and have their guys ready. Get guys off the field, get guys on the field. So we got about a 42-yarder, 43.
42-yard attempt.
You know, that last kick that was a 38-yarder had plenty of distance from 42, 43. Plenty of distance, so.
And his kick is up. And it is good.
And that one was right down the middle. Great job. Mark that down. You know, that's the kind of play, the confidence you get knowing you can score from that part of the field with a field goal with that amount of time left. That's something that could come into play as we go through the year and we get into close games and maybe a playoff game. And it's great to have that weapon. That's a different dimension.
And in the end of the first half, Indian Hill Braves 38, Reading Blue Devils 6. And we'll be back right after halftime.
Asher Weinstein, escorted by Julia and William Weinstein. And Cynthia Zhang, escorted by Zhonghua Long and Dr. Swasia Tiam Zhuang. Thanks to the always photogenic Dr. Miles on the 40-yard line. And congratulations to Indian Hills 2018 National Merit semifinalists. And we would like to introduce the 2017 Indian Hill Fall Homecoming Court. Representing the nominees for the class of 2021 are Princess Smilla Elhausen and Prince Will Kleekamp. Also representing the class of 2021 are Princess Lauren Yamaguchi and Prince John Cushman. Representing the nominees for the class of 2020 are Princess Bella Dega and Prince Jonah Sorsher. Also representing the class of 2020 are Princess Faith Wheeler and Prince Drew Verratti. Representing the nominees for the class of 2019 is Natalie Miles, escorted by her date, Nolan Heffernan. Also representing the class of 2019, but unable to be with us tonight, are Princess Ingrid Ackerman and Princess Sumner Colahan and Albert Kwan. Representing the nominees for the class of 2018, Princess Annie Gerritsen and Prince Peter Chen. Also representing the class of 2018 is Prince Wes Gardner, accompanied by his date, Ellie Pottigill. Also representing the class of 2018, but unable to be with us tonight, is Princess Leona Leleman. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 Indian Hill High School Fall Homecoming Court. Congratulations. Now, as I announce the winners of the Fall Homecoming Court, please step forward. The freshman princess is Lauren Yamaguchi, and the freshman prince is Will Kleekamp. The sophomore princess is Bella Dega, and the sophomore prince is Drew Verratti. The junior princess is Natalie Miles, and the junior prince is Albert Kwan. Unable to be with us tonight. And now the homecoming queen, representing the class of 2018, is Annie Gerritsen. And the homecoming king is Wes Gardner. Please give our entire homecoming court a nice round of applause.
From the From the IHTN studios, it's Braves Beat.
Aloha, Indian Hill! Welcome to Braves Beat on this fine homecoming week. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Ahmed. We need subscribers. Madeira's program, What's Up Madeira, is getting over 500 views per week, and Braves Beat is only getting 100. We should be doing better, but it's up to all of you. Don't wait for 5th period every Friday to see what's going on in our school. Subscribe so you can watch our videos whenever you want.
Today's the last day to buy a ticket for homecoming, so make sure you purchase one on Easy Pay. Tickets are $20 plus Easy Pay fee, so make sure you are getting those tickets today. In Indian Hill, we will celebrate the National Banned Books Week. This upcoming week will celebrate the freedom of reading books all over the country, and we will go through a questionnaire of your knowledge of books. To enter, email Mrs. Mendoza or stop by the Media Center for your chance to win a Grader's gift card. Winners will be announced the next day.
This year, Indian Hill School is proud to announce 10 of our students have been qualified as National Merit semifinalists. They are to be commended for their exceptional achievement and will be recognized at our homecoming football game today during halftime. Congratulations to seniors Joel Blackman, Katie Choi, Savannah Grouse, Richard Guan, Catherine Lewis, and Jack Gang, and Samuel Welcome, Miles Pisati, Cynthia Zhang, and Braves Beat's own Asher Weinstein for their accomplishment. We'd also like to intend our congratulations to the students who received commended status from the National Merit.
Hey, Ahmed, earlier at lunch, I saw you throw a water bottle into the trash can. You do know we have recycling bins, right?
Wait, what?
You know what recycling is, don't you, Ahmed?
No, not really.
Well then, let's check out Recycling Club's president Johnny Giroux and Wes Gardner and see what it's all about.
We at Indian Hill strive for greatness and care about what we do in this school and how our actions affect others and the world. The world, as many seem to believe, is turning into one giant cesspool of human trash because of our excessive amounts of human waste. So, I ask you, Johnny, how can Indian Hill help prevent this from happening?
Well, that's a great question, Wes. In order to reduce our school's waste, the two of us have developed a recycling program. Through this program, we plan to both increase knowledge to the whole school about what is recyclable and what isn't recyclable, in addition to increasing the high school's recycling output.
I don't know, Johnny. Changing my habits seems pretty scary.
Don't be scared. I'll show you the way. Alright, so Wes, see this bottle?
Yeah.
Instead of putting it in here, right there. Starting Monday, we're gonna have recycling bins surrounding the perimeter of the cafeteria. This way, we can start saving the world, one bin at a time.
And with any questions, contact Mrs. Schonauer.
Seniors, if you want to go on a senior trip to Chicago, you must turn in your deposit today. Yes, today. Once you get that in, you can start getting ready for what's going to be an awesome trip. Make sure to sign up for rooms too.
Ever wonder how Braves Beat runs behind the scenes? If so, you can check out our brand new Snapchat. Our username is Braves Beat, all lowercase, and we'll be using this account to show all of you how this comes together. Who knows, maybe we might even give sneak peeks before the episode comes out. You can also send us suggestions through Snapchat.
We have a blood drive on Tuesday, September 26th, and hopefully you've all been signing up to donate blood at lunch. Every blood donation can save multiple lives, so by donating, you can help save the lives of 4 to 6 people. Sign-ups will continue through Monday, so you still have the time to volunteer.
We have a record number of groups participating in this year's homecoming parade. Therefore, it is important for you to be at the auditorium parking lot by 4 p.m. Shuttles will run continuously until 5:15 to the elementary school staging area. See your advisors for specific club information.
Don't forget to stay for the football game. It's in the homecoming dance on Saturday night for Night in Paradise and show our school spirit.
Indeed. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and email us with any news about the school or content you watch to see on our weekly program. Or just give us suggestions to anyone who's in Braves Beat and as to what you want to see in our show.
Send us your ideas, photos, or videos. Come on, all of you, be part of our team by sending in materials we can use on our programs.
Once more, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Ahmed. And as always,
Stay classy, Indian Hill.
So who are you going to homecoming with?
Alas, I'm not going to homecoming.
Why not?
Nobody would date me.
I knew it. Ma'am, who are you going to homecoming with? She's mute. Homecoming with?
Katy Perry.
How?
She just doesn't know it yet.
So who are you going to homecoming with?
Mr. Kirk,
Why?
we're gonna sign. You just sneezed on my arm. Emily Anderson just pretended to sneeze on my arm.
I'm going to homecoming with my BFF, Bryn. It's gonna be a really good time. Pretty hyped. I just weird.
Are you hyped?
Oh my god.
Shaggy.
Where at? Big. All right.
and a drum major, Tommy Clayton.
We have a car in the parking lot with its lights on, another car. It's a blue Honda Civic, license plate FIL 6925. Blue Honda Civic, FIL 6925. This is your car. Your lights are on.
So I would not go live yet.
Turned in, lost and found item is a pink iPod. If this is yours, pink iPod, if this is yours, it's at the concession stand.
Everybody right now is saying, I know that's my kid that left their iPod. I just know.
Come back on, should I say? What are some things you should look for in the second half from Reading?
Sure. Yep, we're here. Back just about to start the second half. Braves up 38-6, and Jake, I guess an optimist would say that's a 4-possession game.
Yes.
It's a lot that has to go right, but nonetheless.
Now, Brian, what do you think we should? What do you think? What do you think? Some things we should see for the Reading Blue Devils for success.
Well, you know, every game like this, obviously, the first thing you want to see is you want to see them come out and get a stop, keep competing, and let's hope that they're able to continue to use the different facets of the game offensively. You don't want Johnny Miller back there having to throw it continuously with Jalen and Mick and those guys running after him.
And Trey Lopez receiving for the Braves right up the middle. And he's barely brought down by the kicker, number 14, Sam Sofio.
Yeah, give Sofio credit. Because, that's a lot just to get in his way and stay in front. Did a great job making the Braves earn it. But how about Trey Lopez? Pretty exciting guy. We've got another 2 years after this one of him.
Cole Dean, backfield with Tennyson on his right. asking for the ball, hands off to Tennyson. Holmes is brought down.
Yeah, Tennyson got squared up by Andy Combs. Andy Combs, one of the leading tacklers. Haven't called his name a lot tonight, but on the year, one of the leading tacklers for Reading, along with Ashbrook and Cromer. Reading also, like the Braves, leading tacklers all on that front.
Coldine's pass to Colin Shaw is good. He will get the
what
first
a
down.
block. Jalen Thornton with a
great block.
Huge block on number 5, Marcus Flake. Good news is everybody's in good shape and up after that one. I'm watching Flake right now go out in coverage, and he looks fine. Reading starting to do a nice job against the run. Talking about it at the half, I mean, really haven't seen a team dominate the line of scrimmage necessarily. A lot of big plays in the first half. Big gap on the scoreboard, but really most of that came from assignment issues or just one-on-one matchups.
And one of the key elements for Reading to get back in this game is their defense to shorten the gap of the score.
Yeah, got to get stops. Any sport, isn't it? If you're down, most important thing is getting stops.
Dean asking for the ball. Hands it off to Tennyson Holmes. Fakes it to Coldine.
Coldine on the quarterback keeper down close to the 5-yard line.
That was a good fake. It even got me.
Justin Dryling on the tackle for Reading.
Yeah, especially when you see a back running to daylight. I think it's wishful thinking that you hope he has the ball.
Trey Lopez in motion. Hands it off to Holmes. Barely picks up a yard.
Yeah, they're going to bring the field goal unit out.
Luke Lundberg will indeed come out.
I think Bob Dean made that call here from the booth. He said, I want a 5-possession game. Feel a lot better if it was 5. Yeah, if we seemed lost, it's because Rob Young was late getting back, and we can't live without him.
And Luke Lundberg's field goal is up and good.
You know what I love about him? He's a kicker. I mean, he's the real deal. There's no just trying to chip it from that distance. He's putting it through all the way.
Sports Medicine, the Christ Hospital Health Network, provide comprehensive and quality care for the student athlete and the community.
Well, Reading with the ball coming back out now on this kick. We'll see what the play calling looks like. Hopefully they can mix it up a little bit still, even with the score the way it is.
Now Reading will come out of their huddle to receive the kick.
Shout out to Rachel Ma cheering for the Indian Hill Braves tonight.
Rob, do we happen to have an update on that Madeira Marymount? Covington Catholic and Andy Mayr's son, A.J. Mayr, up 21-7. Andy Mayr, one of the truly great athletes in the Cincinnati area. Quarterbacking, going up to Miami University as a quarterback, and I think I saw him with 17 rebounds against Moeller in basketball last year.
And looked Eli Glenberg's kick is up.
I think I need a new calculator.
And now into the end zone.
You know, he's pretty consistent, putting the Braves in a great spot, putting Reading with 80 yards to go. When he kicks that ball to the middle of the field, we haven't had a return tonight.
Start your car shopping at Weiler.com. Jeff Weiler, proud
Let's see how the Blue Devils come out, set up from their 20.
The Blue Devils, if they really want to get back in this game, they're going to have to get something going here. 1st and 10, ball on the 20 for the Devils.
Nice start. Johnny Miller with the pitch.
And Adrian Simmons with the run. That'll be 2nd down.
You know, I know we got a 35-point game, but you got to stay committed to the balance on that offense. No update yet, but as soon as we get something on Marymount Madeira, we'll pass it along. The other game tonight, Wyoming at Finneytown, I think I could guess that one. Third quarter score, St. X 23, Moeller 7.
And St. X sounds like they're starting to pull away from Moeller.
Yeah, the opening night at GCL. Tomorrow, I believe, Elder is at home. St. Ignatius coming down from Cleveland to play them. LaSalle tonight with Winton Woods. I don't know if we have an update on that one. LaSalle's awfully tough, but Winton Woods is 4-0. And every once in a while, the athletes at Winton Woods jump up. Well, I don't know if they're playing baseball or football, but LaSalle's up 7-5.
And a heck of a hit by Michael Bright.
Wrapped up by Michael Bright.
Let's take a replay of that. Michael Bright full speed.
Yeah, nice to see Michael coming in. Great technique, head up. Good hit. We're going to have Trey Lopez, looks like, back in punt return.
And running in a punt formation.
A little confusion on the sideline for the Braves.
And they will fake it. But it's
Johnny
pushed out of
Miller.
bounds.
Johnny Miller, I think he's going to have it. Did a nice job putting the ball out in that left hand and picking up the first down.
Runs around the right side, close to the first down marker, and it is a first down, Reading.
Yeah, Braves had a little trouble in personnel. They got their 11th man on just as the ball was being snapped. Not sure if that had anything to do with the result there. But great play by Johnny Miller, one way or the other. Saw Randy Church. I guess he figured that Wyoming Finneytown game wasn't going to be as good as this
Oh, and a
one.
fumble. Picked up by 52, Jalen Thornton.
Fumble on the play.
And that will be a turnover.
Well, we have a,
Jalen Thornton scoops up the fumble for the Braves.
looks like we got a replay of this one, Jake.
And he just drops the ball and Jalen swoops in.
AAA Bob
For
Summerall
the
Tires
snag.
guarantees the best driveway tire price in Greater Cincinnati. With 16 locations, we're right around the corner. Stop in or go online to BobSummerallTire.com.
Yeah, John Hankin doing a good job in pursuit, running him down, and Jalen Thornton picked that up, and he had one thing on his mind.
And the Indian Hill Braves offense looking
Great
coach.
opportunity.
Goldine hands it off. Tennyson Helms, but is brought down by number 13, Tanner Cromer.
Yeah, Cromer, one of their leading tacklers, and I think Reading probably sensing Indian Hill's going to run the ball a little bit here. Don't be surprised if they shoot the gaps a little bit. I'm sure the Braves are thinking about keeping things balanced on their end as well.
That'll It'll be 2nd and 14 for the Braves. Goldine asking for the ball. Fakes it, but it's brought down again by Tanner Cromer. Wow, 2 sacks in a row for the sophomore.
Yeah, impressed with Reading so far in this half coming out. Obviously, against the run, they've been very tough this half and continue to compete.
That'll be 3rd down for the Braves. Goldine drops back, scrambles, but keeps it. And a gain of 5.
Goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line of Reading. 4th down.
And that'll be 4th down for the Braves.
Good job by Reading to stiffen up. Got a little bit of an issue here with the turnover, and it'd be easy for them right there to give in a little bit. Didn't do it. Got through that. Get the ball back. Nice job.
And now we'll see the punter, Logan Person, with the punt back to receive.
Logan Person
for Reading,
punt for the Braves.
Keontae Sanders.
They're caught on the 10-yard line.
A good job by Reading to withstand a little adversity there.
We're the best concession in the CHL for the last 6 years. Get all your food and drink. Although they're sorry to report, they are now out of the grilled sea bass with the grilled asparagus.
Well, we got a score in Region 16 tonight. Clinton Massey out at Northwest, and most of you probably know that Northwest kind of connected with Coleraine as far as school district, contiguous. A lot of good athletes from time to time in Northwest, just not the consistency. Clinton Massey up 45-0.
And then Reading running back Adrian Simmons brought down by Tribe of Braves.
The Braves in week 1 beat New Richmond, and that has proven to be a good win. Tonight, New Richmond at Norwood up 28-0.
The quarterback keeps it, but is pressured. Throws out of bounds and a hard hit.
Yeah, Mick Oakes putting the pressure on. Johnny Miller doing a nice job directing. Just unable to get somebody free so he could connect. About 40 seconds away, believe it or not, from this 3rd quarter coming to an end.
The ref's getting the ball situated here.
Yeah, it might take them that 40 minutes to spot the ball. Or that 40 seconds. Did I say 40 minutes?
Yeah. That'll be 3rd and 10 for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Johnny Miller under tremendous pressure right now, and this is what you fear.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Braves leading 41-6.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you know, when you got a game like this, it'd be easy to just stand back there and throw the ball. And, of course, Jalen and Mick and all the guys know it.
Grasscore is a proud sponsor of Indian Hill Athletics. Grasscore is trained and experienced professionals can help you explore the many options available for improving your landscape. For all your landscape needs, contact Grasscore.
Let's take a look at the 3rd quarter highlights. Here's Tennyson's touchdown run right up the middle.
Yeah, great job of the Braves by showing a formation that took people away from the middle of the field and then getting some downfield blocks.
Ladies and and gentlemen, your 2017 Indian
And
Hill High
here's
School
Colin Shaw's
cheerleader.
interception.
Yeah, Mancini Jackson had that ball go through his hands, a little misdirection. Colin right there to cash in.
And then here's the fumble, covered by Jalen Thornton.
Yeah, Hank and Forson and Jalen not going down on the ground to get that one. He wanted to take that back the distance. Wish he'd have had a little more room. You don't get that many opportunities. Excitement level on that one was a 10.
And the Reading Blue Devils will punt, 4th down.
Yeah, Trey Lopez standing inside your own 40 as a Reading Blue Devil, not the sight you wanted to see here. Defense did a great job after the turnover of getting the ball back, but now the offense unable to do anything and having to punt out of their own end zone. Looked like Trey went back to call a fair catch, did not catch it. Good job by Reading, good job by Johnny Miller to get that out of there and back the Braves up onto their side of the field.
And the Braves will have it right on the 39. And the Braves offense will take the field.
Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, I saw Randy Church at the half. Do we have a Wyoming Finneytown score? Do you want to guess what that score is? What? The Wyoming Finneytown game was 0-0 with. Well, we don't have a time on that, so that's not that helpful. At some point, it was 0-0. No, that's the best we can report right now.
We'll see Trey Lopez in motion.
That update brought to you by Randy Church.
Oh, wow, and the ball just...
Well,
balls
Davis
off of the
Kleekamp doing a fantastic job to not allow that ball to be picked off. He had one thing in mind, which was to knock that ball down. Funny thing about it, it ends up bouncing off a helmet, kind of like that immaculate reception Franco Harris had 50 years ago. Nobody able to pick it up and run with it, though.
Second
Nice
and 10
job.
for the Braves. Goldine hands it off to Tennyson, right up the middle.
Tennyson Holmes on
Gains
the
4 yards.
crowd down close to the 45.
Yeah, if the Braves want to work on something and get better, right now I think the run defense on Reading looks pretty good. Can you execute and can you run the football at this point in the game when you're expected to run the football? Great opportunity for them to get better, run some time off this clock.
And it looks like Jalen Thornton slightly limping off the field. We hope he's okay.
Tomorrow's JV
Star
football
defensive
team travel to
back
Little
for the
Miami.
Braves.
This is a change to Little Miami. Game time is 10 a.m.
Cole Dean signals for the ball. And it's just overthrown to Colin Shaw.
Yeah, Reading doing a nice job there with the hard count. Cole Dean trying to get them offside, which would have changed that situation significantly. Forced Indian Hill to actually run the play, and timing route, unable to make the connection. So Reading defense doing a great job. Going to get the ball back again.
And it'll be 4 and 6 for the Braves.
Looks like Keontae Sanders back for Reading. Sanders has had a good start to the season. Doesn't get a lot of carries, but very good when he's in there.
And it looks like...
Yeah, that looked like that might have touched a Reading player, and it did.
Yeah. The Braves with another...
Keontae Sanders coming up to field that ball, and I can't get the number. I think it might have been Elijah Vaught. But had that ball, couldn't see it, had that ball bounce off, and Braves doing a nice job of covering up. So Braves will get the ball back. And this Reading defense being asked once again to stand up to it.
Ranked number 2 in the state of Ohio. Support your Braves.
It looks like the the Braves have it on the 23.
Yeah, we're going to get another look at it here. Well, actually, you know what? I had that wrong. That wasn't 24. I don't know what number it was, but that was not Vaught. Tough play, though. Looking up, trying to make a block.
Tennyson Holmes with the carry. Powering for that first down, but short a few yards.
Yeah, good job by Tennyson hitting that hole hard. We've seen him the last few weeks really hitting it hard and doing a great job. Did a great job against Madeira last week. I think 3 touchdowns in the game against Madeira, and got himself into 3rd place in the CHL coming into tonight with 461 yards. Mark Manfredi of Madeira still sits atop with 584.
That's a lot of yards.
That is a lot of yards. Didn't have a whole lot of them last week, but ran the ball hard and did a good
Trey
job.
Lopez in motion. Gets the ball handed to him and gain of a yard or 2.
Trey Lopez carries around the right side and tackled.
Yeah, really nice job there in the tackle by Marcus Flegg. Had he not made that tackle, Trey with a little operating room might have taken that in.
On the tackle for Redding. 3rd down.
But Holmes last week with a really big night, particularly in that second half, 3 touchdowns. Now averaging over 8.5 yards a carry, and with that earlier run that was 50-plus yards, he won't hurt that average tonight. Those are Carlos Snow, Hiawatha, Francisco numbers. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And a little miscommunication for the Braves.
Yeah, Braves get a delay a game, but
Penalty on Indian Hill backs them up 5 yards.
Delay a game's one thing. It's the composure issue right now. You got teammates barking at each other and need to get through that right now. Good news is everybody wants to do a good job, but we're doing it together.
Golding signaling for the ball.
Looked like Joel Berger on that.
Dean to Joel Berger on the left side, goes out of bounds.
Nice throw and catch. Braves getting a little space and making the right read, the right throw. See what they do here. We've got a 4th and, what, about 4 or 5?
And it looks like
we're in a part of the field where unquestionably they can kick it. Looks like they're not going to, though.
looks like the kicking squad will not be brought out for the Braves. And an overthrown pass by Cole Dean.
Pass falls incomplete, brings up.
Yeah, Flegg with the second nice play of this series. Had a tackle earlier with Trey Lopez, and then that one jammed Joel Berger at the line, unable to get into that route, and Braves unable to cash in there on that opportunity. Turn it over on downs, and once again, this Reading defense. I mean, I think if you look at things from the Reading side, in this second half, you have to be impressed with how their kids bowed their back and kept Indian Hill out of the end zone the last few possessions.
And we will see a couple of Braves without their shoulder pads, Marco Fiore and Jalen Thornton.
Yeah, as we get close to the end of this one, I think you're going to see more guys getting in and guys getting off the field. Marco, of course, with the hamstring issues the last few weeks, and Jalen, not sure what happened earlier, but looks to be okay. Nothing wrong with getting off the field.
We'll see the Reading offense come out onto the field. Oh,
Yeah, just had real tough time with, you know, the execution and the timing on those pitches tonight. Tough situation. Adrian Simmons getting the ball, but not getting the ball in a rhythm or in a position to be able to make a play. Good back, and I think it's starting to wear on him a little bit.
Reading just wanting to put a few more points on the board before this quarter winds down to an end.
Yeah, I bet that defense is rooting for the offense just to run some clock here. They've been on the field quite a bit.
On some great coverage by Michael Bright.
Yeah, it looked like he was there a little bit early, but no call. And at this point in the game, given the situation, I got no problem with that.
Pass ball's incomplete. Broken up by Michael Bright. The Indian Hill Boosters continue to provide our athletes with tremendous support.
Well,
please go to ihbraves.org.
Those Reading defense requests go unanswered. Offense 3 and out, and that defense will be back on the field. See who comes back out on offense for Indian Hill if we start to have some substitution there. See Colin Shaw with his helmet off. Looks like his night is done.
Reading will punt.
Yeah, nice job by Johnny Miller. Actually took a look to see if something was available, but made the decision to punt the football. Good decision. So we're going to have a lot of substitutions coming out here. A little over 3 minutes left. Braves 1st and 10 from their own 40. We'll try to get through some of the names for you. I see Cooper Leschek out on the field. I see Duke Weiler on the field. Will Schneider. Eli Rising. Luke Hammond coming out. Hammond hands off to Leschek. Leschek with the run, and we got a late flag. Well, we expected that Marymount-Madeira game might be a good one tonight. And it is. Going into the fourth quarter, tied at 14.
Warriors go up at the end of the third quarter on a sack, fumble, touchdown. Warriors get a sack and cause a fumble and run back for a touchdown.
Yeah, Rob Young just telling us that going to the fourth quarter, that game tied at 14. Marymount actually got the tying touchdown on a fumble by the quarterback and returned for a touchdown. Let's get you a few more of these. A few more of the Braves that have checked in here. Charlie DeGennaro split wide for the Braves. Joseph Scholl playing left tackle. Looks like we got Nathan Berger at left guard. Right tackle, Joshua Austin. And we'll fill in that center and that right guard as we can see him.
And Brian, stepping away from football for a moment, the Indian Hill women's soccer team is undefeated, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, Jake, I think you would agree that the girls at Indian Hill have always been the best athletes. Are you ready to commit to that right now?
I think I'm going to have to.
I mean, you go to the Hall of Fame induction and you see a guy that was all league 3 times and he was all city twice. And then they bring out the girl and she was like first team All-America 4 times and set state records and national records in whatever it was. Amazing. That ball thrown a little bit behind.
Cooper Leschek.
But you know what? Coop's a guy that can make a play like that. I'd like to see Cooper run one in here so we could have a post-game interview. I can't think of anybody with a better personality, more talkative, that would be more fun to interview than Cooper Leschek. Another one of the linemen, sorry, we're just trying to see him, and we're just even with these guys, so we can't see. But Dan Sheard is also in the game.
The quarterback, Luke Hammond, just gets sacked by number 10, Mancini Jackson.
Yeah, Mancini Jackson giving everybody in the CHL a hard time athletically. No different for young Mr. Hammond. Escapes pressure, does a nice job jumping up and giving himself room, and Jackson just closes quick. The other guy on the field right now for Indian Hill, Harris Fode.
And we finally got a score of the Wyoming-Finneytown game. Wyoming up 41-0.
Rob Young says that Randy Church owes him a hot fudge sundae. Because of that game, Randy apparently gave Rob 170 points. That's crazy. I mean, even for a Wyoming guy, that's, don't you think?
All right, Brian. So I guess it's safe to say that the Indian Hill Braves dominated on both sides of the field, offensively and defensively, and Reading just could not keep up.
Yeah, you know, great job by the Braves offensively tonight. A lot of big plays. And hats off to the Reading team, though, here late in the game. Their defense keeping the Braves out of the end zone and continuing to fight. Two good teams, and I think Reading, Madeira, it's going to be a good game. They go and play each other next week. The Braves next week here on Thursday to take on the Marymount Warriors. So a short week for the Braves. I think they'll move everything up a day in their preparation and then have Friday off.
And signing off from Tomahawk Stadium, I'm Jake Summerall.
And I'm Brian Shaw. Thanks for joining us.